What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. It is episode 2 of the Rebuild My Bag series with my boys from Titan Golf. This is a series we partnered together on to help rebuild my bag and kind of, for the first time, really put together an exact set of tools that fit my game exactly how I want. And so today we're going to be talking about the rest of my long game, my 3-wood and my hybrid that I've added to the bag. First, let me hit these 2 shots for you, show you what's cooking, and then I'll dive into how we got here. Those were roasted. Okay, so up to this point, I played around with a couple options for my long game. At the beginning of my golf journey, I didn't have a 3-wood, and I basically was driver, 2-iron, and that was it. Then when I got fit last year, I got rid of the 2-iron and went driver hybrid. Then towards the end of last season, I got rid of the hybrid because it wasn't really vibing with me. Got a new 3-wood and put the 2-iron back in play. So it's had a bunch of evolutions, and where it's been sitting for a long time has been a Callaway Epic Flash Sub-Zero with a Project X black shaft, has been my 3-wood, and then my 2-iron has been a TaylorMade P790 UDI. And that's worked out pretty well. But once I moved to the Ping driver and Taylor got me fit into a shaft profile with that head that really worked with my swing and has worked with my game over the past month of having it, it's been a pretty significant difference for me in terms of just confidence off the tee. We both thought, let's roll with that and let's fill out the rest of the long game with complementary pieces that fit with the same philosophy that we built for the driver. And so the purpose of the driver was obviously more forgiveness, to eliminate a big miss, and to be extremely stable. Ping is that's just their brand, that's what they do. And so as a result, we naturally just gravitated towards adding 2 Ping products to the arsenal. All right, so first up for my 3-wood, we have the Ping G425 Max, 14.5 degrees of loft set to standard with a Ventus Black 7X shaft. I have the 6X in my driver, so the 7X just a good complement to have the profiles consistent throughout the bag. The reason why I went with the Max versus the LST is because when testing with Taylor at Titan, there wasn't a huge difference in performance between the LST and the Max in terms of like spin and like launch. I'm not looking to like absolutely destroy my 3-wood. To be honest, when I pull a 3-wood, it's either because I'm looking for more forgiveness off the tee, I'm looking to put it in a tight space, or I have a second shot in on a par 5. And so having the extra forgiveness and having just a touch more launch with the Max is just more beneficial for me. I didn't really see a benefit in having an LST 3-wood, and just from playing the Sub-Zero in the Callaway version, the low spin version, like it's great, but you can run into some volatility when you're playing a less forgiving club in that scenario. So just decided to go with this, and it's been great. It plays well. My only thing I don't love about it is the sound. It's a bit metally off the face. Like it's a very metal sounding sound. It reminds me of actually my Ping i15 driver that I used to play. And if you watch my first initial course logs, that was my club of choice. And it's a really metal sound. Feel wise, it's okay as a result because of the metal, but performance wise, as you can see on that last shot, I can absolutely wreck this thing. And that's really the most important piece of all this. Here's a good example of a hole, where the 3-wood could come into play. Short par 4, we've got OB left, OB right. The sensible play would be to lay up with an iron, but if we can control our 3-wood and put ourselves, way down there, we can potentially drive the green and or have a really, really short chip shot in. We got a great kick off this hill. Ended up right here. Pins right there. Mission accomplished. So just to test that 3-wood, I dropped the ball 265 out in the middle of the fairway. We ended up right here on the edge of the green, which gives us a nice easy shot in for eagle and hopefully a solid up and down for birdie. And that's exactly all we want out of this club. So Ping driver 425 is looking great. Ping 425 3-wood works great. It's only a logical step from there that let's just try a hybrid. And so I have put the Ping G425 3 hybrid 19 degrees in the bag with a Ventus HB 9TX shaft to match the profile of the other ones. Now, the interesting thing about the hybrid, I actually had zero intention of swapping out the 2-iron. My thought process through going through all this with Taylor was that I was just going to put a better shaft in my 2-iron. I was probably just gonna actually put this shaft in my 2-iron so that it matched, and then I had a stiffer profile, and then, you know, was hoping to get some better response out of the 2-iron. But again, with the forgiveness, with the weight, I think that's another piece with the Ping stuff that I've really grown to appreciate and really enjoy. You know, a year ago when I first got fit, I wasn't strong enough or kind of capable enough to deal with heavier clubs and heavier swing weights. And that's why I deviated a little bit and actually went to lighter clubs for a while to just develop my feel, develop my strength, develop my swing to get to a point where I could handle it. Now that I can, I really, really like the weight of the Ping clubs. The heaviness of the head and just the balance throughout feels awesome. And I guess this bleeds into a lot of that stability and all the things that Ping talk about, because one issue I had when I was playing the Sim Max hybrid last year is that, you know, it was really great off the tee sometimes for me when I was hitting this big roping hook with it. I loved it. It was awesome. But in terms of like being a precision instrument for me, over time, I just struggled to control it. You know, it just wasn't, it just faded out. I don't know. The face is so small on it, and if you don't catch it right, it flares and it spins like crazy and it goes absolutely nowhere. What intrigued me about this was just one, the size of the face at address. It looks quite massive over the ball. It looks very appealing. And just looks like comforting, and the feel of the club feels very heavy. It's almost like I'm just swinging a slightly heavier 4-iron in terms of feel, which I like, but the speed that I can get and ball flight I can get out of this is just nuts. So here's an example of a hole where a hybrid can be a good play for me. We got OB left, we got OB right. You know, if I'm not having a good day with the driver and all hell feels like it's starting to break loose, what I hope to get out of my hybrid is the ability to rope one out there anywhere from 240 to 270 depending on the conditions, and still be able to attack certain par 4s and not have to give myself too long of a second shot in. So just dropping a ball quick here to kind of demonstrate the other thing I love about this hybrid, which is to use it as a club, as a second shot into par 5s when I have the right distance for it, where I can get it high in the air and get it to land soft on the green and hopefully give us a good look at eagle or birdie. Oh, that's sick. So that's pretty much as perfect of a result as you can ask for. We were all the way back there to right there. That's it. Now, one thing I want to touch on is obviously in episode 1, a big thing I talked about was eliminating a miss, and was designing my entire bag basically around eliminating that one miss. And that was to play a cut shot, and my driver was set up to do that, and I was going to kind of carry that throughout the bag. Now, what's been interesting is that over the past couple weeks, as my swing has made some pretty significant evolutions, I've had to deviate a little bit from that plan, and I'm actually playing now more of a draw with everything as opposed to a fade. What's been interesting about using Ping product is that because it's so forgiving and because it's so stable, playing the draw actually hasn't been as big of an issue for me as it has been with other products. A big reason why I just kept going to only playing a fade was because with the gear I've been using up to this point, the most consistent way to put the ball in play was to use that shot shape. Because playing a draw with that gear, if you even came close to hitting something off the toe or not ideal, it was just gonna go so left and so just like soul crushingly left that it was deflating. What I found interesting over the past couple weeks of now integrating the Ping product into my bag is that it opens up a little more creativity and freedom because I'm not as scared anymore because left isn't bad in comparison to other products I've used. You know, I can hit a draw with the hybrid, with the 3-wood, with the driver, and it's not that like snap hook left draw. It's, you know, even at its worst, it's just a little more ropey, but it's never just like gone left, you know, like a foul ball to left field. It just doesn't happen. So that's been an interesting evolution. Now, obviously, you know, ideally I would like to only play one shot shape. And as I continue to curate my game, you know, I will move towards that direction. But what's been nice is at least the tools I have give me the freedom to try both ways, and I can set them up accordingly and dial them in to play that shot shape the best way possible for me. So that concludes episode 2 of the Rebuild My Bag series. Shout out to my guys, Taylor and Bill over at Titan, for taking care of me and helping me with the builds and selecting gear and taking me through this testing process. They have been awesome. I'm really excited for you guys to see episode 3 of this series, where I'm going to unveil something really, really cool. So stay tuned for that. That's coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you on the next one.